You're watching Tristan, your virtual local game store host. Hello, card slingers, and welcome back to the Jack of All Trading Cards podcast. I am your host, Tristan, and today is Saturday, and that means we're once again going to be talking about card games. This one in particular is Lorcana. If you guys want to tune in for more Lorcana content, tune in every Saturday. I'm going to have a podcast with a topic that I'm going to be talking about. Our topic, speaking of which, is going to be which cards are going to be evergreen from set one in Lorcana. So I actually made a list of like 5 cards per color that I think is gonna be just gonna get better and better in the future of this card game. So let's just get right into it. For Amber, we have Lilo Making a Wish, which is a non-inkable 1 cost with 1/1 stats and can quest for 2. So this one is actually a really interesting card. It doesn't really have any effects, but it can outpace your opponent. So being able to outpace your opponent like this is, I think, a very huge plus in my book. Um, it's just one of those cards where you play it, your opponent starts sweating because you're already 1/10 of the way to winning the game every time she attacks. Next is Simba, Protective Cub. This one actually shapes the entirety of deck building. People are playing stuff like Rafiki, Smash, um, even like some unoptimal cards like Gaston, just so that they can answer this on turn 2. It's when people start playing unoptimal cards just to counter it, I feel like that's a good card. Ariel, Spectacular Singer. This one right here is a 3 cost inkable 2/3 with Singer 5. So people are actually abusing this right now in like steel decks, being able to sing part of your world, or no, not part of your world, a whole new world, and grab your sword. And it also has musical debut, the ability to look at the top 4 and add a song. So it's extra value just from that 1 card. Really good card. The more songs that they release in Lorcana, the better this card will get. Next is Rapunzel, Gifted with Healing. This one just says when you play it, you can remove up to 3 damage from one of your characters. Draw a card for each damage removed this way. So you can draw up to 3 cards. This card will just, it's one of the best cards. It can quest for 2 even. It's a threat by itself. So they have to answer it. And you can just quest with it and draw with it. It does everything you want to do, plus the bonus of healing. And then the last card in Amber that I think is one of the evergreen cards is Be Our Guest. Songs in general, I think, is one of the better mechanics of the game. Being able to play them with 0 ink is really good. Plus, there's stuff in its own colors that you want to be exerting anyways. Stuff like Simba, which you want to exert for Bodyguard, and you don't necessarily want to quest with it, just quest for 1, and you can just quest with your other guys. So, as synergy that way. You also have the Ariel, which can search this in its own colors. Songs just in general are a really broken part of the game, and I really wish they balance it of the fact that it can be played with 0 ink the more songs they make. I do have faith in Ravensburger that they will do that. So that's it. I could be talking about more Amber cards, but I'd be here for hours if I talked about every evergreen card. Some honorable mentions, probably like Moana, Rockstar Stitch, Just in Time, just like stuff that if they make more X cards like princesses or like 5 cost characters or like 1 or 2 cost aggro characters, then those cards will just get better and better, right? So there's other things like that. Next is Amethyst. In Amethyst, the evergreen cards that I chose is Maleficent Biding Her Time. It is the exact same thing as Lilo Making a Wish, but in a different color, and is also a villain, if that matters. And basically, it's a 1 ink to cast uninkable 1/1 that quests for 2 lore. Just a really good card, can outpace your opponent. Same reasons as Lilo. And then there's also the Maleficent Sorceress. It is a 3 ink, 2/2 inkable. And whenever you play it, you draw a card. This is one of the best draw cards in the game. It's card draw on a stick, makes you not run out of cards, and you can use it to quest, you can use it to challenge, you can use it for whatever. It's just there. Just a really solid card overall. And then the next card that I wanted to highlight for Evergreen cards is probably Rafiki. So Rafiki is one of the best answers to Simba in the game right now, and I said Simba is a really, really broken card. It even shifted the way deck building works. And Rafiki is a really good 2-for-1 card. The same way, what's he called? Maui is basically almost a better Dragonfire. This is almost basically a better Smash, and it can even quest for 1 lore, and Maui cannot. So yeah, very nice card. Wouldn't be surprised to see this keep getting played in future sets. Next is Elsa, Spirit of Winter. Probably one of the best cards in the game. Just buys you time against aggro, can quest for 3, is a really big threat, and can keep your opponents exerted, so you can even challenge them right after. So yeah, it's just really nice card. It commands a $500 enchanted price tag even. The reason it is as high as that. And finally, the last card in Amethyst that I wanted to talk about is Friends on the Other Side. This one, I think, is the best card draw spell in the game. It can cost up to 0 ink if you sing it, and it just draws you 2 cards, and it just costs 3. It's even inkable. If you don't need it early, then you can just ink this. Don't even worry about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Amethyst. I could be talking about Amethyst more. Some honorable mentions, I guess. I will say is like Ursula's Cauldron is a really good card. Being able to try to, and then keep doing that the entirety of the game. It's just gonna help you gain value overall. Speaking of value, the Queen is also a really good value card. Ursula is also a really good value card. So yeah, Amethyst has a lot of value in their cards. But if I were to talk about every single Amethyst card that's good, again, we'd be here for hours. Next is Emerald. The Emerald cards that I chose is actually, I think, is very good cards. They are tempo heavy good cards. So tempo in this game is just putting stuff on the board and being able to like pressure with them. Like they demand answers. Stuff like Flynn Rider and Cheshire Cat, they're really good back-to-back drops. They can even they just make your opponent lose resources if they challenge it. And they just quest for heavy amounts. Emerald, I think, is one of the best questing decks, aggro decks, whatever you want to call it. So it's one of the best colors for that. And yeah, Flynn Rider, probably one of the better cards because they don't really want to challenge it. But if they do, they have to discard cards. Cheshire Cat, the same thing. Then Mad Hatter, same thing. Just keeps questing for 3. Very heavy quester, and it even gives you card draw if they challenge it. And in an aggro deck, card draw is few and far between. We'll definitely take that. And I think Genie is one of the best tempo swings in the game. It is 6 costs, so it's the cheapest one. The other tempo swing like cards in the game, aside from Genie, is like Maleficent Dragon and I think what's his name? Hades? Yeah, Hades. The blue Hades. So Genie is just 6 cost, bounce a character, and then now you have an evasive threat that they have to answer. It's just really, really good. If they don't have the answer, then you'll probably win because you could just keep questing with Genie for 2 every turn. And then Mother Knows Best is a 0 cost bounce. Most of the time, if you sing it. So, yeah, I feel like these are very representative of what the Emerald game plan is of being able to establish tempo and pressure. And these cards help. For Ruby, Ruby is one of the control colors. And Maui is actually almost just a better Dragonfire, in which it is inkable. It can kill something as soon as it's played, and it can stick around. So yeah, Maui is just really, really nice. Aladdin is Shift Aladdin. So you can shift 5 onto another Aladdin, and it also can buy you time and accelerate your quest thing against people. So yeah, against the aggro, it just buys you time and accelerates your questing. Maleficent, Mischievous Dragon. This one is just another tempo swing card, but is inkable. It is one of the better inkables that way, right? So against something that they play a threat and then you play a threat and destroy their own threat, it's like just a really good tempo swing. Cost 9 though, a little too high, but it's okay. You're in the control colors. You'll probably get to 9 mana late game, so not a problem with that. And then Dragonfire. Dragonfire is basically Maleficent, but without the body. And Be Prepared is also really cool, because you can sing it and then banish all characters. You can also hard cast it. I've seen this get hard casted more often than sung, but it is just one of the better board wipes. I think it's the only board wipe that truly board wipes, right? The steel board wipes are not too great because they are just like AoE damage. Next color we have is Sapphire. This one I picked Detective Mickey, which lets you ramp. Ramping is always good. And it puts a body on board, and it's not even that bad of a body. You can sing stuff with it, like one jump ahead, or you can even quest with it, start questing, start trading, challenging, whatever. Like ramp on a stick is always good. Well, strange but special. This one is probably one of the better win cons of the deck. It's just always nice. If you have 10 or more cards in your inkwell, just quests for 5. That is too good. Also, it has another ability, which is during your turn, you can put an additional ink. So it's like Fishbone Quill. So yeah, it's just overall, it's ramp, it's your win condition, it quests. And it's not even bad for its stats, like a 4 mana 2/4. That's not that bad. Hades Infernal Sorcerer. This one is just like Genie, I would say. Can swing the tempo into your favor. Really insane card. Is uninkable. There are a lot of uninkable cards in Sapphire, like One Jump Ahead and Mickey Mouse and whatnot. But I feel like it's a really good card. almost like Maleficent, but 2 cost less, and it removes the threat forever. Unlike Genie, where they can just replay the threat. But buying you a turn is more often than not enough, and this one just removes that threat. One jump ahead, classic ramp. You can even play it for 0 cost. If you sing it, it's just super duper good. Fishbone Quill, again, ramp. So these are like a ramp heavy color. This is a ramp heavy color, and they're all like really good cards for what they are. Next is Steel, which is actually one of, if not the best colors in my opinion. Mostly because Captain Hook is an insane card. It is a 1-drop that can just challenge multiple things. Like you don't wanna mess with him for a 1 cost. There's also Beast, which the more items, the better the items that they make, the better this card will get. Tinkerbell, Giant Fairy. This is like hands down one of the best cards in the game, I think. And I think A Whole New World, which is either played in mill combo with green or like just to refill your hand in yellow. It's just such a good card. You can sing it with Tinkerbell or any 5 cost, or like Singer 5s even. And then there's Grab Your Sword. So overall, these are the cards that I think will stay evergreen. And will probably define what the staples are for each color. Obviously there's more, right? Like in Steel, I would consider stuff like Smash as a staple. Or like in Blue, I would even consider Grandma Tala, even more ramp, a staple. But yeah, I mean that's about it. These are the cards you should probably be picking up if you're looking to play these colors. And yeah, if you like more conversations like this, you can actually join our Discord if you want. Probably gonna be in the description of the video on YouTube, or just type up Jack of All Trading Cards podcast and you'll probably find it. And I've been Tristan, and I hope you guys liked listening in. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りしました。